Captain Jai-Ho Park stood at the massive window of the Galactic Alliance headquarters, looking at the three suns that lit up the alien sky. Even after 10 years in space, the sight of different star systems still amazed him. He straightened his dark blue Earth uniform and checked his reflection in the window. At age 35, his black hair was already showing some gray, but his strong build and alert eyes showed he was ready for anything. The door behind him opened with a soft hiss. A tall, blue-skinned alien named Min-Soo Choi walked in. Like all members of his species, he moved very carefully, as if afraid of breaking something. His large eyes blinked slowly as he looked at Jai-Ho. "Captain Park, the Alliance Council is ready to meet you now," Min-Soo said in perfect English, thanks to the translator device on his neck. "I must warn you, many of them are nervous about meeting a human." Jai-Ho smiled. He understood their fear. Humans came from Earth, a planet that other species called a death world because of its high gravity, extreme weather, and many dangerous animals. To them, humans were scary because they could survive things that would kill most aliens. "Don't worry, Counselor Min-Soo. I promise not to break anything or anyone," Jai-Ho said kindly. "I'm here to build bridges, not destroy them." They walked through long white halls to reach the council chamber. Jai-Ho noticed how everything was built to be very safe and gentle. The Alliance species had evolved on peaceful worlds with few threats. They were smart and advanced, but they didn't understand danger the way humans did. The council chamber was huge, with seats for representatives from 50 different species. Jai-Ho saw creatures of all shapes and sizes, some with 4 arms, others with feathers, and even one that looked like a floating crystal. They all watched him carefully as he walked to the center of the room. "Honorable council members," Jai-Ho began, keeping his voice soft and calm. "I bring greetings from Earth. We are honored to be invited to join the Galactic Alliance." A green-skinned council member named Da-Hyun spoke up. "Captain Park, your species has achieved faster-than-light travel only recently. Yet you have already survived encounters that would destroy most of our ships. How can we be sure humans won't bring violence to our peaceful alliance?" Jai-Ho took a deep breath. This was the moment he had trained for. "Council member Da-Hyun, it's true that humans are strong and tough. But these abilities come from surviving a hard world. We learn to be creative and solve problems. We don't want to fight. We want to protect and help others." He pulled out a small device and showed them images of Earth. "Look at our world. Yes, it has dangerous storms and animals, but it also has great beauty. We have learned to appreciate peace because we know how precious it is. Humans don't want war. We want to share our strength to help keep the peace." The council members looked interested now. A bird-like alien named Hae-Nul asked, "What can humans offer the Alliance besides physical strength?" Jai-Ho smiled again. "We offer our ability to solve problems in new ways, our creativity, our determination to protect those who need help, and most importantly, our desire to learn from you and work together." As the meeting continued, Jai-Ho could see some council members starting to relax. They asked questions about Earth's culture, art, and science. He told them stories about human exploration and discovery. By the end, even the most worried aliens seemed less afraid. Later, as Jai-Ho walked back to his quarters with Min-Soo, the alien said, "You surprised many of us today, Captain. Perhaps humans are not as scary as we thought." "That's all I hope to show you," Jai-Ho replied. "Humans may be tough, but our greatest strength is our ability to make friends and work together. That's why we're here." Looking out at the alien city through another window, Jai-Ho felt hopeful. It was a good first step. Soon, humans would prove they could be valuable members of the Alliance, not through force, but through cooperation and understanding. 3 months after Jai-Ho's arrival at the Alliance headquarters, the first signs of trouble appeared. He was reviewing trade reports with Hae-Nul when the emergency alerts activated. The normally peaceful Alliance Control Center erupted into activity. Trading Outpost 7 has stopped all communications, Haynul reported, her feathered hands moving quickly across the control panel. No distress signal, no warning. It simply went dark. Jai-Ho leaned forward, studying the display. Show me the last known status of the outpost. The holographic screen filled with data about the remote trading station, which had been home to over 3,000 beings from various species. This is most concerning, Min-Su said as he entered the control center. 2 more outposts have fallen silent in the past hour. The council is gathering for an emergency session. In the council chamber, the atmosphere was tense. Representatives from 50 species discussed the situation, but Jai-Ho noticed they were focusing more on evacuation plans than investigation. We must withdraw all personnel from the outer outposts, one council member suggested. It is too dangerous to remain. Jai-Ho stood up. Honorable Council, before we abandon these outposts, we should try to understand what happened. The pattern of these attacks seems familiar to me. The room fell silent. Da-Hyun, who had become more accepting of humans over the past months, asked, "What do you mean, Captain Park?" "These attacks remind me of historical Earth conflicts," Jai-Ho explained. He moved to the central display and brought up a map of the affected outposts. "Look at the timing and locations. These aren't random attacks. The enemy is testing our defenses and response times." Haynul stepped forward, her feathers slightly ruffled with concern. "Captain Park is correct. The attacks are too coordinated to be accidents or natural phenomena." Jai-Ho continued, "On Earth, we learned that understanding your enemy's strategy is the first step to protecting yourself. These attacks follow a pattern similar to ancient naval warfare tactics." The council members listened with growing interest as Jai-Ho explained his theory. He showed them how the attacked outposts formed a strategic pattern, potentially revealing the direction of the next strike. "We need to send investigation teams," Jai-Ho suggested. "But not just any teams. We need people trained to handle dangerous situations." Min-Su looked worried. "Our security forces are not equipped for such dangerous missions. We have always focused on peaceful solutions." "Then let humans help," Jai-Ho offered. "Earth's Space Defense Force has trained teams for exactly these situations. We can work together with Alliance personnel." The council chamber erupted in discussion. Some members were afraid of involving the dangerous humans more deeply in Alliance affairs. Others saw the wisdom in Jai-Ho's words. Finally, Da-Hyun spoke. "Captain Park, your analysis makes sense. But this would be unprecedented. Never has the Alliance allowed non-member military forces to operate within our territory." Jai-Ho looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each council member. "Sometimes unprecedented problems require unprecedented solutions. Humans don't want to take over. We want to help protect the peace you have built." After hours of debate, the council made their decision. They would allow a joint human alliance investigation team, led by Jai-Ho and Haynul, to examine the silent outposts. As they left the council chamber, Haynul approached Jai-Ho. "This is a great responsibility you have taken on, Captain." Jai-Ho nodded seriously. "Whatever we find out there, Haynul, we'll face it together. That's the real strength of the Alliance. Not just staying safe, but working together to protect each other." As they prepared for their mission, Jai-Ho couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something much bigger. But for the first time, humans would stand with the Alliance as true partners, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The investigation team assembled on the Alliance flagship, Stellar Peace. Jai-Ho looked at the mixed group of humans and aliens before him. Earth had sent their best specialists, including Yoon Ali, an expert in space combat tactics. Haynul stood next to Jai-Ho as they examined the mission details. "The nearest affected outpost is 3 days away at standard speed," she said, her feathers shimmering under the ship's lights. "Our sensors detect no signs of life." "We should increase speed," Jai-Ho suggested. "Every minute we wait gives the attackers more time to hide their tracks." "But standard speed is the safest way to travel," One of the Alliance officers protested. Increasing speed could damage our sensitive equipment. Yuna stepped forward. On Earth, we learned that sometimes taking calculated risks is better than being too careful. Our ships are designed to handle higher speeds safely. After some discussion, they agreed to use the human ship's engines to pull the Alliance vessel through space at a faster speed. This cut their travel time to just 1 day. As they approached the outpost, Juho noticed something unusual. "Look at the damage pattern," he said, pointing to the station's outer hull. "These aren't random attacks. The enemy knew exactly where to hit." Honul studied the scans. "You're right. They targeted the communication systems first, then the defense shields. But how did they know where everything was? Someone must have given them detailed information about Alliance stations," Jiho concluded. He turned to the team. "We need to go inside and look for evidence." The Alliance members looked nervous. Their species weren't built for dangerous exploration. But Jiho had a solution. "We'll form mixed teams, human strength combined with Alliance knowledge." Inside the station, they found signs of a fierce battle. Jiho and Haenul led one team through the main control room. The emergency lights cast eerie shadows everywhere. The attack was quick and precise, Haenul observed, examining the damaged control panels. "But where are all the people?" Jiho noticed something on the floor, small marks leading to a hidden panel. "Help me with this," he said to Haenul. Together, they opened the panel to find a maintenance tunnel. "These tunnels connect to the emergency escape pods," Haenul explained. "But our scans showed all pods still docked." "Maybe that's what we were meant to think," Jiho said. He pulled out a special scanner humans had developed. "Look at this. The pods are perfect holographic projections. The real ones are gone." This discovery changed everything. It meant most of the station's people had escaped, but it also meant the enemy had very advanced technology. Back on the ship, Jiho presented their findings to Alliance headquarters through a secure channel. The attackers knew everything about the station's layout and systems. They used advanced technology to hide their tracks, but they didn't expect us to look past the obvious. Min Su's image appeared on the screen. "The Council is impressed with your investigation, Captain Park. Your human perspective helped us see things we missed." "This is why the Alliance needs humans," Haenul added. "We've always relied on our advanced technology and peaceful ways. But sometimes we need those who think differently." As they prepared to investigate the next station, Jiho felt proud of how humans and Alliance members were working together. Each species brought different strengths. Alliance knowledge and technology, human courage and adaptability. "We're getting closer to understanding who's behind these attacks," Jiho told his team. "And when we find them, we'll face them together, as one Alliance." After investigating 3 more outposts, Jiho and his team finally discovered the truth about their mysterious attackers. They found the evidence in an abandoned cargo bay of Outpost 12, where the emergency lights revealed strange markings on the walls. "These symbols aren't in any Alliance database," Haenul said, examining the unusual writings. She moved her scanner closer to the wall, her feathers trembling slightly with excitement. They appeared to be some form of mathematical sequence. Jiho studied the marks carefully. "They remind me of old Earth military codes. Each symbol might represent a different attack formation." He pressed his hand against one of the markings, and to everyone's surprise, the wall became transparent. Behind the false wall, they discovered a hidden chamber filled with advanced technology. The equipment was unlike anything the Alliance had ever seen. Yoon Ali, who had joined their investigation team, began analyzing the devices immediately. "This technology is remarkable," Yuna reported, her eyes wide with concern. "It's designed to work in environments that would kill most Alliance species. The beings who made this must come from a world similar to Earth." The team transmitted their findings to Alliance headquarters. Min Su called an emergency meeting of the Council. Through the holographic communication system, Jiho explained their discovery to the worried council members. We're dealing with a species that evolved on a high-gravity world, just like humans, Jiho explained. They call themselves the Shadowed according to the data we recovered. They've been watching the Alliance for years, learning its weaknesses. Daihyun's hologram flickered as he spoke. Another Deathworld species. This is most troubling. They must have remained hidden, studying us while we never knew they existed. The investigation team's next discovery was even more alarming. In a secure data core, they found the Shadowed's battle plans. The aliens intended to take control of the entire Alliance, believing that species from peaceful worlds were too weak to deserve their territory. Their tactics are similar to strategies used in Earth's past, Jiho observed, showing the Council the translated battle plans. They target communication systems first, then crucial infrastructure. They've been testing the Alliance's defenses, preparing for a larger attack. Hanul stepped forward. The good news is that we now understand their methods. The bad news is that they're planning something big. Their next target appears to be the Alliance capital itself. The council chamber erupted in panic. Many representatives called for immediate evacuation. Others suggested surrendering to avoid conflict. But Jiho had a different idea. We can stop them, he said firmly. The Shadowed think like humans in many ways. They expect the Alliance to run or give up. They don't expect us to fight back effectively. That will be their weakness. Working together, Jiho and Hanul developed a defense strategy. They would use the Alliance's advanced technology combined with human tactical knowledge. The peaceful species' careful nature, which the Shadowed saw as weakness, could become a strength when properly applied. We don't have much time, Jiho told the combined human Alliance force. The Shadowed will attack soon. But they don't know that we've discovered their plans. More importantly, they don't know that humans are helping the Alliance. As they prepared for the coming battle, Hanul turned to Jiho. When you first arrived, many thought humans would bring violence to the Alliance. Instead, you're helping us defend ourselves against true aggressors. Jiho nodded seriously. Sometimes the best way to preserve peace is to be ready to protect it. The Shadowed think the Alliance is weak because it values peace. We'll show them that working together makes us stronger than any single species could be alone. The Alliance capital glowed under its 3 suns as final preparations for defense were completed. Jiho stood in the command center with Yuna Li, watching as thousands of ships moved into position. They had only 2 days to prepare since discovering the Shadowed's plans. All Alliance civilian ships have been moved to safe positions, Hanul reported, her feathers neat and composed despite the tension. The Council has approved our defensive strategy, though some members remain concerned about its aggressive elements. Jiho nodded, understanding their worry. The Alliance had never faced a threat like this before. Remember, our plan uses the natural strengths of each species. We're not just fighting, we're protecting our people. Yuna pointed to the tactical display. The outer sensor network is ready. We've modified it using Alliance technology to detect the Shadowed's cloaked ships. They won't surprise us this time. Suddenly, the alert systems activated. The Shadowed's fleet had appeared at the edge of the system. Their ships were dark and angular, designed for war rather than peaceful exploration. The initial count showed over 500 vessels. They're earlier than expected, Hanul said, her voice steady despite the news. But we are ready. Jiho activated the command channel. All ships, take your positions according to Plan Delta. Remember your training. Together we are stronger than they expect. The Shadowed's fleet moved forward in perfect formation, clearly expecting little resistance. Their first wave of attacks targeted the capital's communication arrays, just as Jiho had predicted. But this time, the Alliance was prepared. Activate the decoy systems, Jiho ordered. Hundreds of holographic communication towers appeared, confusing the enemy's targeting systems. Meanwhile, the real communication equipment had been hidden using Alliance stealth technology. The Shadowed's second wave of attacks revealed their surprise at finding resistance. Their ships moved to surround the capital, but this played directly into Jaiho's strategy. Phase 2, begin now, he commanded. The Alliance's fastest ships, piloted by the bird-like species that included Hinul, darted between the enemy vessels. They were too quick to hit, and their movements forced the shadowed ships to break formation. Their coordination is disrupted, Yuna reported with satisfaction. Now for Phase 3. At Jaiho's signal, the Alliance's largest ships emerged from hiding. These vessels, operated by the strongest Alliance species, carried modified shields based on human designs. They could withstand the intense attacks that had destroyed the outposts. The battle grew fierce as the Shadowed realized they faced an prepared enemy. Their ships launched waves of energy weapons, but the combined human Alliance defenses held strong. They're adjusting their tactics, Haynul warned, moving to their secondary attack pattern. Jaiho smiled slightly. Exactly as we expected. Yuna, signal the Earth fleet. It's time. From behind the system's largest moon, 20 Earth warships appeared. They had arrived secretly days earlier, waiting for this moment. The Shadowed's forces suddenly found themselves caught between two forces, their usual tactics useless against this unprecedented cooperation. Send the message, Jaiho instructed Hinul. His voice carried across all channels, reaching every ship in the system. To the forces of the Shadowed. The Alliance is stronger than you believed. We offer you one chance to surrender and join in peaceful dialogue. The response came quickly, a barrage of weapons fire. But now the Alliance was ready. The combined fleet moved as one, each species contributing its unique abilities to the defense of their shared home. As the battle reached its peak, Jaiho watched his plan unfold. Humans and Alliance members worked together perfectly, proving that their differences made them stronger, not weaker. The turning point of the war had arrived, and the Alliance would never be the same. The space around the Alliance capital blazed with energy weapons and explosions. Jaiho directed the combined fleet from the command center, where holographic displays showed the entire battlefield. The Shadowed's forces fought with increasing desperation as their careful plans fell apart. Their main fleet is splitting into 3 groups, Haynul reported, her feathers glowing in the light of the tactical displays. They appear to be preparing for their final attack formation. Jaiho nodded. They're using an ancient Earth tactic, divide and conquer. But we're ready for this too. He turned to Yuna. Signal all ships to implement Formation Beta. The Alliance fleet moved with perfect coordination. The fastest ships harassed the enemy's flanks, while the heavily armed vessels protected the capital. Human ships took the most dangerous positions, their crews trained to handle intense combat situations. The enemy's right wing is pushing toward the defense platforms, Yuna warned. They're trying to create a weak point in our lines. Not today, Jaiho responded. He opened a channel to the Alliance ships in that sector. This is Captain Park. Hold your positions. Remember your training. Trust in each other's strengths. The Alliance crews, though naturally cautious, had learned to be brave. They held their ground against the Shadowed's attack. Their advanced shields, combined with human tactical guidance, proved stronger than the enemy expected. In the command center, Minsu arrived with urgent news from the Council. The Shadowed are broadcasting a message across all frequencies. They demand our surrender. Jaiho studied the enemy fleet's position. They're not in a position to make demands. Their formation is weakening. Hinul, show me the status of their flagship. The main display zoomed in on the largest enemy vessel. Its shields were failing, and its movements had become less coordinated. The Shadowed had never expected such strong resistance from the supposedly weak Alliance. Now is the time, Jaiho announced. Signal all ships. Execute final phase. The battle plan's last stage began. Alliance ships that had been hiding in the atmosphere of nearby planets emerged. They carried special weapons designed by human and Alliance scientists working together. These weapons didn't destroy. They disabled enemy ships with targeted electromagnetic pulses. The Shadowed never understood our true strength, Newell said as they watched the plan unfold. They thought our peaceful nature made us weak. Instead, it taught us how to work together. Ship after ship in the Shadow's fleet lost power as the special weapons took effect. Their mighty warships became helpless, floating in space. The careful coordination between human and Alliance forces had won the day. Enemy flagship is signaling, Yuna reported. They're requesting terms for surrender. Jaiho looked at his allies. Newell with her graceful movements, Min-Su with his careful wisdom, and Yuna with her tactical brilliance. Each had contributed to this victory in their own way. Tell them our terms are simple, Jaiho said. They must end their attacks, share information about any remaining hidden forces, and agree to join peaceful discussions about their place in the galaxy. As the shadowed ships powered down their weapons, cheers erupted throughout the Alliance fleet. The battle was over. More importantly, the Alliance had proven that different species could work together, making something stronger than any single race could achieve alone. The Council is assembling, Min-Su announced. They wish to thank you, Captain Park. This victory belongs to all of us, but your leadership made it possible. Jaiho shook his head modestly. The victory belongs to everyone who believed in working together. Humans didn't save the Alliance. The Alliance saved itself by learning to combine all of our strengths. 1 month after the Great Battle, the Alliance capital sparkled with lights from 1,000 worlds. Representatives from every member species gathered to celebrate not just their victory, but the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. The Grand Hall of the Council Chamber had been renovated to accommodate both peaceful species and those from high-gravity worlds like Earth. Jaiho stood before the assembled council, wearing his formal Earth uniform with new Alliance insignia. Beside him, Newell and Yuna represented the successful partnership between humans and the Alliance species. Even some former members of the Shadowed attended, now seeking peaceful cooperation rather than conquest. Today marks a transformation, Min-Su announced to the gathered assembly. We have learned that true strength comes not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them together. Captain Park and the humans have shown us a new way forward. The Council had made several important changes. They created a new defense force that combined human tactical knowledge with Alliance technology. Training programs helped peaceful species learn to handle dangerous situations, while humans learned the value of careful planning and diplomatic solutions. The Alliance has always valued peace, Jaiho said in his address to the Council. Now we know that maintaining peace sometimes requires courage and action. But we will never lose sight of our primary goal, bringing different species together in harmony. Newell stepped forward to present the Council's new initiative. We are establishing the Joint Species Training Academy. Here, all member species will learn from each other. Humans will teach crisis management and survival skills. Alliance species will share their knowledge of advanced technology and diplomatic relations. The changes went beyond military matters. The Alliance began improving their trading outposts, making them safer while maintaining their peaceful purpose. They installed new defense systems designed by human and Alliance engineers working together. The Shadowed's technology, now understood and modified, helped create better protection for all. Our greatest victory was not defeating the Shadowed, Yuna explained to a group of young officers. It was proving that different species can work together, making up for each other's weaknesses and building on each other's strengths. The Council chamber buzzed with excitement as new policies were approved. Humans would no longer be seen as dangerous outsiders, but as valued protectors. Several other high-gravity world species, inspired by Earth's example, now sought to join the Alliance. We are creating something unprecedented, Min-Su said during the closing ceremony. A truly unified alliance, where every species contributes its unique abilities to our shared future. Jaiho watched as human and Alliance children played together in the capital's new cultural exchange center. The young ones didn't see their differences as barriers, but as fascinating aspects to learn about and appreciate. This, he realized, was the real triumph. As the celebration continued, Jaiho received news that the first joint Human Alliance exploration mission was ready to launch. Their goal was to seek out other civilizations, not to conquer or fear them, but to invite them into this new era of cooperation. The galaxy is vast, Jai-Ho told his friends as they watched the three suns set. But together, we are ready for whatever we might find out there. We have proven that courage comes in many forms, and that true strength lies in unity. The Alliance had indeed changed, growing stronger through its challenges. As night fell on the capital, the lights of 1,000 worlds shined brighter than ever before, a beacon of hope for all species who dreamed of a united galaxy.